what happened was that during World War II at the end, Operation Paperclip, we got several thousand scientists from Germany and all over the communist regime and over there in the Nazi party, and brought them back, and they became our secret space program and also our radar defense program and a lot of our science behind physics, anti-gravity, propulsion, and the entire space program with NASA. We've always heard about Wernher von Braun and that entire program that kicked off. And the stuff that came out of Operation Paperclip ended up in the hands of Howard Hughes. He was like the Elon Musk of his time. He was the one capable with the infrastructure, the employees, and the funding in order to do that. He ended up based out of Nevada, where Area 51 and all of that goes on. And there's a lot of mystery involved, where Howard Hughes even owned a lot of the same properties that Bob Bigelow ends up buying. There's even some alleged rumors that Howard Hughes might be the father of Bob Bigelow, and they look exactly the same physically, and they end up living in the same town in Vegas, involved in the exact same kinds of companies, doing the exact same work with the same people. And so we have Howard Hughes also up at Mount Wilson Ranch and owning this ranch before Bob Bigelow shows up. And so we're going to hear about his involvement and now how it gets into a weird twist in Nevada and into Utah. And again, we have these belief systems and secret organizations going on underneath as this is happening.
Start talking about the Howard Hughes Company and how they had the first psychotronic directed energy system contracts. And all of the evidence says and rumors are that he was up here and he's the one that put in the runway.
Since he never left the Desert Inn, he needed a team of executive assistants and advisors to oversee his business dealings. This team was led by a man named Frank Gay, who was curiously known as Bill. Gay was a Mormon that Hughes had hired right out of UCLA. Hughes preferred working with Mormons because he knew they didn't drink, smoke, or gamble. He thought this made them more likely to avoid being tempted by the vices of Vegas and handle his business with greater discretion and integrity. Hughes was so committed to using Mormons that they wound up composing the entirety of Gay's team.
According to the weather, we got maybe 2 hours before full blizzard, so we got to move fast.
Okay. Andy, Paul, and the team at Mount Wilson Ranch have one chance to try to blast their way into 2 abandoned mine entrances that might connect to an underground tunnel system, leading to what is rumored to be a buried UFO.
So the question here is what was Howard Hughes and Bigelow and those guys really looking for or doing at Mount Wilson Ranch? The evidence shows that they had technology buried in the meadow that looks like one of those phased array systems in order to capture a UFO or to even fake and produce them. And we also know and have found evidence up there that during Howard Hughes's time, a lot of the same experiments that were going on with Jacobo Grinberg doing these child psychic spy experiments were going on with a secret program that Howard Hughes had in contract with his friendships through the Mormon Church and the Cub Scouts organization, where they would bring groups of Cub Scout kids up to Mount Wilson Ranch and then possibly or potentially do similar types of psychic experiments with the subjects up there at the ranch. And this is all near Area 51. So the question is why the weaponization of shamanism? Why did they go to these ancient locations, and what were they doing?